What is going on, Flex On family? God's favorite host, the host with the moist, the host of America's Most Wanted podcast, the Flex On podcast, the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Back again with another Baltimore Ravens video here on the YouTube channel. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, smash that bell for all notifications to know when all of our videos drop and when we go live. And most importantly, subscribe as well to the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it here on YouTube. I'm back again with another video. Today, I'm talking to you about the Baltimore Ravens and will Lamar Jackson show up for Ravens OTAs? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Will he or won't he for these voluntary OTAs this coming week out at One Winning Drive? It's the biggest topic of the week in Baltimore sports, in my opinion, as the Ravens take the field for OTAs this coming week. The question is, will Lamar Jackson, the franchise player, the great eight, be in Baltimore for OTAs as we know he is looking for a new contract? Now, reports came out recently that Lamar Jackson was in Hollywood. Mm, I'm saying Hollywood, excuse me, was in California. I don't think he was in Hollywood, but he may be in Hollywood one day doing movies. But he was in California working out with Nick Dudo. I think that's how you pronounce his name, the mechanics expert. And he's working on his mechanics. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. He's worked with Joshua Harris. He has James Urban, his quarterback coach. So working with Nick Dudo is good. He's working on his mechanics. So things like his throwing motion, how he holds the football to prevent fumbles, things of that nature to make sure he's as polished and as fundamentally sound as he needs to be this upcoming season because Lamar Jackson knows that if he goes out there and balls out, he will get that new contract that he's looking for to be paid, and he could essentially set the market. Now, when we say voluntary OTAs, the term is really voluntary mandatory, where if you're not there, it's only because of two things: you're hurt or you're looking for a contract. And usually, if you're hurt, you're there to get treatment, there to get worked on by the team. So if you're not there, it's usually a contract dispute. And I say that because if he's not there, that's going to overshadow the entire week of OTAs. Nobody's going to be talking about the rookies, how they look. Nobody's going to be talking about Rashad Bateman. Nobody's even going to be talking about Chuck Clark because we don't even know if he's going to show up. Because does he want to show up and get hurt and not be traded if the Ravens are going to trade him? Or do the Ravens want him to get hurt and not be able to trade him? Or does he show up and he's there and they figure something out and realize that he is going to start and play for this team, even with the drafting of Kyle Hamilton? I don't know. But let's look and see what happens here. Now, when it comes back to Lamar Jackson, which is the purpose of this video, last we checked, he may be in California, but I do think Lamar Jackson will show up to OTAs because I think him and Harbaugh, him and Eric DeCosta have a pretty good relationship. I know money's involved. I know contract disputes. Him and his camp, aka him and his mom, they're going back and forth. He's trying to get a contract. Apparently, the Ravens lowballed him, and I think they lowballed him too. If they only offered him something that starts with the threes, because, like I said, if he plays well this year, he could reset the market. He could be 50 plus million a year quarterback or around that number. Now, I think Lamar Jackson, he is not a me guy, he's a we guy. I think he will not allow this to infringe on his relationship that he has with a lot of the guys on this team. Let's not forget, he was working out with a lot of the receivers, the Rashard Batemans, the James Prochet's, the Tylen Wallaces. He has a good relationship with Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, guys of that nature. So I think him working out with a lot of those guys this offseason, working out with them in California and wherever they were, Florida, etc. And I think having the opportunity to work out with them, granted, this coming week at OTAs and coming up with the mandatory mini camps, which are the middle of June, I believe 13th, 14th, 15th, or 14th, 15th, 16th. You can fact check those dates. I think it's very imperative and very, very important that Lamar Jackson is there because, yes, he's worked with James Dudo working on his mechanics, but I think the Baltimore Ravens want to see what improvements he's made offseason with his mechanics, with his throwing motion, with his deep ball accuracy, and throwing outside the numbers, which has been a question on Lamar Jackson. Now, even though with all of that, in 2019, he still led the league in passing touchdowns and he was just the unanimous MVP. He did an amazing job, and he ran for over 1,000 yards as well, and his legs are still his best weapon. But I think he's tired of all the running back talk. I think he's ready to elevate his game to be an elite thrower of the football. I think he's an elite football player, but he's going to be an elite thrower of the football, working on these types of things, building that camaraderie with his receivers. And I think him being able to showcase that at OTAs when the media is allowed in, it could let people know, hey, they don't have a contract right now, but they're headed in the right direction. And even if one doesn't come before the season, if Lamar goes out and does what Lamar is capable of doing, leads his team back to the playoff, puts up big numbers, he will be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league and can help reshape the market for other guys coming behind him, i.e., Kyler Murray, etc. Hey, I want to see him work with James Urban, his quarterback coach. I'm sure they have a good relationship as well. I want to see Lamar working with his receivers. So I do think Lamar Jackson will show up for Ravens OTAs. I do think he will make his way to Baltimore, whether that's today or tomorrow or whenever he gets there. I think Lamar Jackson will make his presence known someday this week here in Baltimore at one winning drive. Also, congrats to Lamar. I see he's filing for trademarks for You Ate Yet for a restaurant. So maybe he brings that to the Baltimore area, brings some business and revenue and some positivity to the area with his name on it as well. But let me know, guys, what do you think Lamar Jackson will do for OTAs? Will he show up? Will he not show up? Will he get that contract he's been talked about? I think he won't get the contract, but I think he'll play well enough that he'll get the contract next year. And don't forget, the Ravens still can franchise him for the next 2 years if there is still a dispute over money as well. I'm excited to see what happens at OTAs this week with the Kyle Hamiltons, Tyler Linderbaum, some of the rookies, the Rashad Batemans, what happens with Chuck Clark and others, Jordan Stout. We know that. Whew, thank you so much, Sam Cook, for all you did. I know you retired, so I want to see what Jordan Stout does. It looks like that Sam Cook will be there to work with him. He will be the holder for Justin Tucker, as Sam Cook was. Will be punting as well, so Sam Cook will be able to help and mentor this young guy who was the best punter in the draft. But I want to know, guys, in the comments. Let me know what you think about Lamar Jackson. Are you excited that he's working with the mechanics expert? Do you think that is going to be another MVP caliber season for the Great Eight? Action Jackson, La Jackson, the Flex Zone podcast MVP, because we love us some Lamar Jackson. We said he should get $50 million, and he probably will get close to that if he balls out this upcoming season. I'm God's favorite host, the host of the Moist, host of the Flex Zone podcast, the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Hit that bell for all notifications, like this video, smash that like button, and subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. We appreciate you, Flex Zone family. We're growing, as are you, and we appreciate you being part of the team. Let me know what you think about Lamar Jackson. Will he or won't he show up for Ravens OTAs? I think he will, and I think he'll do what he does best, and that's play the game of football and show improvements in his throwing motion and his mechanics, and he'll be able to be an asset to this Baltimore Ravens offense because they only go as far as he takes them. Remember that. 2019 unanimous MVP, still one of the best players at his position, still a Ferrari. Just got to get the right tires and get the right things for the Ferrari so he can be successful. Obviously, the running game, the offensive line, and receivers like Rashad Bateman, I think, who will take that next step as well. Let me know, as I said, what you think. Subscribe, and until next time, y'all, I'm gone. Let me know, will Lamar Jackson show up or won't he? To voluntary mandatory minicamps this week and coming up in June. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm gone. Peace.